Joining us now from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, which of course oversees all things pure Michigan, is Otie McKinley. Otie, thanks for being with us today.
Good morning, Tyler. How you doing? Look at you all snazzied up, wearing a coat today. You make me feel underdressed.
I got to be warm. It's cold season here in Michigan. The studio gets cold in the winter, it gets very hot in the summer. So I'm just adjusting. I'm adapting as the year goes on.
There you go. Good, good. You look good, sir.
Well, Otie, let's get right into it. It's a great time of the year to explore all things Michigan. We've talked about this ad nauseum in the past, but it's a time of the year too where people are getting ready for the holiday season, doing some shopping for their family, for holiday gifts, and getting ready to go out in the community and really engage in our local economy. And it's so important this time of the year as people are doing that to focus not only on what the gifts ideas that they're looking for their loved ones, but also supporting their local community. A great way to do that is to explore local businesses. What should people be really looking out for in terms of what they can find on the local level in their community and in other communities across the state as they're shopping this season?
Yeah, Tyler, you're right. As we kind of walk through this gift buying season, after Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, we walked through Cyber Monday. There's all sorts of propaganda out there to get people to kind of immerse themselves into this gift giving season. But we continue to remind people to shop local. You know, shop, eat, and stay in the community that you live or the community that you travel to. It's incredibly important, not only for the small businesses you're supporting, but the employees of those small businesses and also the community in which those small businesses reside. There's a statistic out there, it's something like 62 cents for every dollar spent at a small business stays in the community that the business is located. So it's an incredibly important economic factor for these small businesses across the state.
And especially this time of the year, how important is this time of the year in our small business community to make up for some of the parts of the year that are a little bit slower, especially as we transition between the end of the summer season and the end of the fall season and into the winter season, which I would assume for many businesses, maybe that aren't in resort areas or near these winter activities, might be a lot slower, especially in smaller communities in Michigan.
Well, you're right. There are a lot of communities throughout the state that are tourism dependent, and some of those communities are summer based, some of them are winter based, and that creates kind of these shoulder seasons where there aren't as many travelers coming to these small communities across the state. And so to be able to support the small businesses in those communities is incredibly important. These retail based companies, the holiday season is a bulk of their annual revenue. And so, it's just for us to support the communities and the businesses and the employees of Michigan businesses is something that we really urge people to think about, to focus on, and do. And also, I would be remiss not to mention our website, which is, the support local website, the Shop, Eat, Stay, which is michiganbusiness.org. There you go, right up on the screen, /support-local. And it just walks through opportunities, communities, shops, the purpose, the mission, and just to focus on supporting Michigan-based businesses.
We're joined by Otie McKinley on today's edition of the Megacast. Those resources and more provided by the Michigan Economic Development Corporation through their Pure Michigan campaign and others as well. And Otie, from your organization standpoint, from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, as much as it is a marketing organization that oversees marketing Michigan's travel and tourism industry, it's also an advocacy organization too. So what sort of discussions have been had, especially over the past year as things have started to open back up to more of a normal situation with these businesses to be in the more modern era and adapt to even more of the changes that have been coming and continue to come following the bulk of the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah, you mentioned it. The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is really the state's lead marketing arm, and that's for business development, community development, and brand state image branding for Travel Michigan and the Pure Michigan advertising campaign. And clearly, the tourism industry was disproportionately impacted during and following the pandemic. And so those businesses have kind of reevaluated how they do business and to accommodate the parameters that were put in place at the peak of the pandemic, but then also consumer behavior has shifted a little bit too. And so businesses are adapting their business model to ensure that they are meeting the needs of the customer, meeting the needs of their employees, and meeting the need of their bottom line. And so as we go out to eat, as we do our holiday shopping, it's really, I can't stress it enough how important it is to support the small businesses and local businesses across the state.
MichiganBusiness.org is your place to go for more information on supporting local through this holiday season and all across the year. And Otie, for those small business owners that are looking to try to put their best foot forward, maybe get a leg up on some of the corporate competition or even other small business competition in their similar sectors in their local area, how can they utilize resources from the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, especially this holiday season, to really have a strong finish to 2022?
Well, some of these small businesses that are holding events can put their events on our calendar at michigan.org. But ultimately, what it comes down to is these businesses are trying to attract customers, and it's a competitive game, right? And so, focusing on the customer, and again, focusing on the employees, which ultimately gives the customers a better experience, are some of the tactics these companies or businesses are using to try to differentiate themselves during this important buying season.
More information again can be found michiganbusiness.org, and of course travel information and tourism information across the state at michigan.org. Otie, another minute or two with you before we'll say goodbye today. Anything else that we should be focusing on at this time, especially as we're looking to support our small businesses as we approach the end of 2022?
Just to reiterate exactly what you said, keep small businesses at the forefront of your decision-making process, and the impact that a single purchase can have is truly amazing when you look at that. If everybody were to make a local purchase as opposed to an online purchase or a big box shop, has a ripple effect across the state's economy. But again, most importantly, it has that impact on that small business. So as we get into the holiday season, just remind everybody to, again, support businesses in your community, but also be kind. Be kind. It's the season.
Yeah, tough, busy season for these small businesses, especially in the retail sector as well. So we appreciate your time, Otie. Thanks for joining us today.
Tyler, it's always a pleasure. Look forward to our next conversation.